Best relationships can be tricky in your home country or especially out of your home country where there's cultural differences, language differences, etc. And why is it that so many men are finding their way over to Southeast Asia to meet a woman, someone that they feel that they're more compatible with? And why are these women attracted to those men? I know what you're thinking, but I think this video just might turn that thought process around. I am here with the world famous Baby May and her friend Russa.
Yes.
And you guys have known each other a full 24 hours.
Yeah. Real quick.
You're like best friends already.
Yeah.
And this is not common because my wife hates everybody. She knows it. That's why she's laughing. You don't trust anybody that's not your family.
I need to
And you really don't let anybody in for quite a
I
while.
feel like a foreigner.
But I see you with her, and it's not your normal circumstance for me to observe you with this lovely young lady.
Yeah.
So both of you are in relationships with an older foreigner.
Yeah.
And so enlighten the people watching right now, why a foreigner, number one. I'll just leave it at that. Why a foreigner? What? Either one can answer.
The first day. For me, I better choose foreigner like what I choose right now because as my experience right now, like the one that I have is caring to me and then concerned and then love with me a lot. Like he was concerned like what happened to me, what my future is. It's not like about the money, but I saw with him like the way that he acts and then the way like he treats me like not only like a princess but I feel like he was so in love with me. And those times like I proved that one those times that he was block me and maybe he realized that time that he was mistake or something, and then I said like but I need to surrender that time and 4 times or something if he's not unblock me that time and never been contact him again. But maybe it's because of God or something giving me that one. So it's nice like that's why I said like it's love at first sight because the time when I see him on dating app, it's just like I feel in my heart like this is the guy that I'm looking for so long.
And you just felt that immediately when you first saw his picture. When you saw his app or his, what is it called, a profile
Yeah.
on the dating site. And he blocked you because you said something that offended him. And you don't know what you said wrong.
Yeah.
And so you stayed and you pursued him because you really felt strongly about this man. And that speaks a lot. I think, you know, you call it women's instinct or just call it a gut feeling, or you just sort of know in your being and you can't explain it. But that's just how you felt, and you weren't going to let that opportunity miss because you're a pretty young woman.
Yes.
And so there's 100 guys on the dating site that you could have chatted up and moved on and said, okay, well, he blocked me, forget it, just keep on keeping on. But that wasn't the case with you.
Yeah.
So what about you, May? Why a foreigner?
Because foreigner is loving and sweet and serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to young one.
Are we hard to be with? What's the hardest part of, I'll ask our guest first. What's the hardest part about being with a foreigner?
The hardest part is like the culture that you have, and then the culture that we have, and then like the traditions that we have. Like example, like we have a lot of traditions like right here, like you never been trying for. Like that time, like I said to you, like what's that one that I'm telling you, like I forget that one, but it's just like about a superstitious belief because you're not believing that one. So that's the only hard to adjust about the culture that you have back to America compared to the culture that we have right here in the Philippines. So that's the only one.
What do you think's the toughest part about being in a relationship with a foreigner, baby May?
For me is, I think the same. The part.
I would say it's communication.
My
Oh
English.
yeah,
The English.
There you go.
My English is limited.
The barrier.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yes.
I would agree that for us, it's communication.
Yes.
And I have to say everything 5 times. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, when you're dialed into somebody and you see their inner self and what they're made of and their moral fiber and all that, it's easy to look past what I call little things because she could be a great communicator, but a lousy human being. But the opposite is true. She's a very sweet, loving, moral human being. And the communication is something, it's just a project. And we do finally, at the end of the day, understand one another. We just have to work at it. And sometimes I get impatient, but I have to tell myself that I'm in a foreign country and I should really learn the language.
Yeah.
It's, to be fair. You know, if I move here, I think it's my job to learn the language, not her job to learn English. But I think it's good for her to learn English because it's communication skills that would enhance her future.
That's also the problem, Dino.
Yes, the
Communication,
English.
like the English barrier or something.
Yeah, and the culture is tough for Americans to understand some of the nuances that you have. You mentioned superstitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not superstitious people.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
we
have a lot
don't
right
believe.
here.
You know, once we're past 6 years old, we don't believe in ghosts or the boogeyman,
That's
or that
the
somebody's
thing.
living under the bed, or that there's some guy in the closet that's going to jump on me. You know, I mean, that was little kid stuff that used to keep me awake at night. You know, so you guys have hung on to that here forever, and so you still have superstitions,
Yes.
and you're not going to change it.
Yeah.
And I think us as foreigners, we just have to embrace that and maybe, you know, just let you be you. Why try to change somebody? If you feel like you got to change them, you shouldn't be with them. You know, just accept them for what they are,
Yeah.
and 100%. All right, so the age gap doesn't bother you
No.
because what I'm hearing from you guys is that it's the positives outweigh the negatives. We're not nearly as frisky as the young guys. Our eyes maybe don't wander quite as much. And what about drinking and all of that? I mean, does that play into it? Like drinking alcohol?
It's okay to drink, like if it's occasionally or like if you crave to drink, that's fine. But drinking too much was not good.
Yeah.
Just drink.
Do you drink?
moderately. No.
Do you drink?
If I have friend for sharing with here, you can drink. I drink a little bit, but no a lot, because I have the ulcer.
I know.
And
I've
the
seen you.
first time I meet you, I'm not drink.
Right. No, I've seen you drink 3 times. Yeah,
Yeah, because
that's true.
Yes, because I would like to experience for drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said to myself, I want to experience for drunk.
You want
Yeah.
to get experience to get drunk.
but you never got there
Yes.
You never been experienced
because of the
drunk?
taste.
No.
You like,
That's why.
you can go, oh.
As
So,
you said,
baby May, you're going to go to your grave having never been anything but sober. I guess that's a good thing. And I don't drink, so, but occasionally.
Yeah.
And so there you go. So, you guys are happy with your lives?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're looking forward to your futures? And you're going to probably get married?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're my. I get
I'm your
you.
the bridesmaid.
Yeah.
And this is
I
your
get
and
you.
this is your first wedding.
Yeah.
This is your first marriage. Is this your first serious relationship?
Yeah, with him.
Mm-hmm.
No
Okay.
more.
Okay. And you don't have any children. That is speaking a lot right there, that you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Because the proverbial single mothers seem to be plentiful out here. And that's not their fault. They live in the province. There's nothing to do. Boys meet girls. Kids will be kids. And that's a lot of teenage pregnancies and all that.
Yeah.
And that's cultural. And that's also driven by financial situations. Usually the more poverty or the poor is, you fall into that trap. So the two of you were born into poverty.
Yeah, we
You
know
went
how to
off at a
handle
young age to work and support. And so you guys, I think, beat the odds on that, which makes you what we call unicorns.
Yes,
You know?
I agree that.
You're not running around with a kid on your hip and, looking for a handout or anything. One other thing that your partner told me is that, like my wife, you've never asked him for a peso, ever. Were you ever curious about how much money he did or didn't have?
No, I'm not asking.
No. Okay.
And then the time that we first met, like, I'm the one who bringing his wallet, all his card. He puts that one in the bag, but I never touch him.
But what he did do for you is, because like me, he has a modest income from Social Security. And so what he did do was he raised your standards a lot by renting a one-bedroom apartment, which is nice, air-conditioned, clean, and you were in horrible conditions. I know my wife grew up with rats eating her shoes and dirt floors, and outside the forest was your toilet and all that kind of stuff. So you elevated a lot, but between me and him, we kind of downgraded our living conditions compared to what we had in America. And we found that we didn't need all the things that we thought we needed to have. Oh, we got to have the big house. We got to have the shiny car. Oh, we got to keep up with the Joneses. We got to do this. We got to do that. Because we're gullible and we buy everything that the advertisers are selling because that's what they do. Down to what we eat for lunch, to what kind of car we drive, and what it is to be successful. So I've yet to figure out what rich is. All I know is that rich to me is waking up with not having to fret about money, and simply living within your means, not going beyond it, not taking on a lot of debt, and having a fulfilled, happy, when it can be, life. Life's going to throw you sticks and stones and arrows, but for the most part, waking up with no stress, I think, is the main thing. I think that the Philippines, with partners like you two, will lengthen a man's life because of the stress reduction and all the attention that you do give us. And so I just want to thank you ladies for being the classy Filipinas that you are, the beautiful ladies that you are. And I think, I don't want to sell this, that everybody that's coming out here is going to meet somebody like you. It is a process. Sometimes it happens quick, like it did in your case, and sometimes it takes a long time, like it did in my case with me. And there's all points in between. So I guess that's where we'll leave it. Congratulations on you guys being besties after 24 hours. I really,
because I'm 40, she's 29.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like the difference, because it looks like for me, you're the same age with me.
Well, May's never gotten along with young women because of the immaturity factor. She just feels that they don't have enough life experience. And I also know, I'll out May a little bit, that when things come easy for them, she's like, man, they don't know what it is to work for a living. And I think that when you are young like you guys, 15 for May, 17 for you, you go off to a strange land, from your home, and you go to Manila or wherever it is, you work as a low-paying, low-status job, working for little money, long hours. That matures you, and it also makes you appreciate everything that you have today, as opposed to some 19-year-old foxy little girl that automatically gets a new iPhone, moves into that same apartment you just moved into, and I don't see those things lasting. You know, I just don't see her gaining any kind of wisdom or moral fiber or appreciation. I know that Baby May thanks me almost every day after we go shopping. And she says, Daddy, thank you so much for the food.
Yeah.
Or we buy the dog food. She says, thank you so much. I've never had anybody say thank you so much as my wife. And it's true for 6 years. It's not a fake thing, because for 6 years straight, she's always said, thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you do for me. And that means, it's a million miles for me of smiles. So you guys got any last things you want to say? I've talked through most of this, of course.
Yeah, just like to all the Filipinas right there, like if you want to get a foreigner, I prefer to choose older than you guys, because as what we gonna experience, like as what we have, like older men, and then we prove that one that older compared to the young one, you need to get older because they are just caring with you, they're gonna love you the rest of their life. And then just be careful, like if you are in love to each other, just the perfect for the relationship that you're gonna build for. So for me, I'm gonna get like older compared to younger, because as I have right now. So
What advice would you give to a man watching this as far as selecting a Filipino? Is there any one or two little pieces of knowledge that you think he should have?
like to the expat, like same age like you guys.
Yeah, for an expat that's, let's just say an older expat that's coming over here and wants to meet someone like you guys. What would be some red flags that you would look for? What would you warn him about?
The red flag for that one is just like on the first day, like not only the first day, like they started to chat, like once the lady asking for anything, like especially money, but it's not only money, but like example, like money was the first thing right here, because some Filipinos or Filipinas are born being poor, so they need some money. So some Filipina, like they think out there, like most older men have a lot of money, especially like you guys, like you have already your SSS or social security. So they think like, oh, we need to get an older because that older guy have a lot of money. So as what I advise to all the older guys, expat out there, like they need to be choose the good one for them. And then I prefer them to get like not young lady like 18 or 20, just to get like 22 up. That's the best age for them just to find. And then just be aware of money that first day that they're gonna chat with each other. Like if they're gonna ask money the first day, that's a big red flag for that one.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else would you look for? Would you look for the way that she dresses? Would you look for tattoos? Would you look for, does she drink? Does she smoke? Does any of that kind of stuff set up a red flag for you, or no?
For me before, I'm scared about the guy that having a tattoos, because for me it looks like addict.
Yeah.
But I proved that one that it's not like being addict, because some guys love to have tattoos on their body, but they are good. So
What about girls?
yeah, some girls have too, but I think they love that one to put a lot of tattoos on their body as decoration or something.
For me, the tattoo is no good.
Yeah, I don't like
it's
tattoos.
not good, girl.
But mostly ladies have tattoos, like we can tell that they are a bad, but it's not a bad, but mostly bad. No.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, okay.
They have tattoos.
Fair enough. I agree with you. What about drinking?
Not good for you. Drinking.
Yeah, it's not good, but it occasionally that's fine. But if you drink always, no, that's not
No.
good.
Okay.
But for me, prefer to get a guy that is not drinkers or something.
Okay. So when a guy is talking to a girl online or in person, he should observe. Obviously, he needs to be aware that she's asking for money or not asking for money.
Yeah.
If she asks for money, I think it's okay if she says, "Can I have trike money to go home or for transportation?" Because 50 pesos for you is a lot of money, and it's not being used to go out and buy a gadget. It's just used to get home, you know? So that's a big difference between saying 5,000 pesos.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay to
that's
ask,
where,
but if it's like they're gonna ask you always, can you
Yeah.
give me some money? That's the red flag. But if they're gonna ask you like only once, twice, that's
Uh-huh.
fine. But if it's monthly or something every day, no, that's the big red flag.
do you believe you should get an allowance? Do you think your foreigner should give you a monthly allowance?
No.
No. Look at her face. That's great. That's great. It's like it confused you,
Yeah.
you know, because I've always been anti-allowance of giving girls X amount of pesos per month. And May's never asked for that. But I know others that do. I would call that a red flag.
Yeah.
Is now the only exception I would make to that is if I met May and she was sending 5,000 pesos, we'll say, every month home to her parents, and they depended on that. That was, they're elderly. They need that for food. They need that for life. And I told her, quit your job. I'll pay it. I think that's not really going to you. It's going directly to your parents. And we're simply keeping a contract that you guys have out here because the younger people are told to support the older people, where in America, we put them in a home.
Nursing home.
Yeah.
Like orphanage.
Yeah, because they don't like to take care.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, thanks again for coming on the channel and chatting us up and enlightening us a little bit about the world famous age gap stuff and the world famous foreigner. These are not new questions, but I always like to get new people on to rehash some of the older topics that we talk about. And it's always good to get a fresh set of eyes or perspective on it. So thank you both for being on the Old Doggy channel.
Yes. Well, and then what's your channel again? Your
Um,
couple.
Can you please guys subscribe my fiance's channels, Randy's Philippines Journey.
Sure. I will put a link in the description to Randy's Philippines Journey. I'll ask him to send me the link and I will put it in the description.
Yeah.
And are you on the channel?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it.
Are you on there?
Yeah, me?
Yeah.
I'm there. I think
I wouldn't watch him, but I'd watch you.
like that. We get viral tomorrow.
You're getting famous.
Yeah, not only that.
See you later, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again.